The Path to Mastery, the journey of Ethan Collins. Before starting the video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. A dream unfolds. Ethan Collins was a dreamer. From an early age, he had an insatiable desire to build something great. He didn't know what form it would take, perhaps a business, a great invention, or a remarkable piece of art. All he knew was that the seed of potential inside him needed to grow. His small town in the countryside, surrounded by rolling green hills and quiet streets, didn't offer much in the way of opportunity. But Ethan had always seen the world beyond what was immediately in front of him. At the age of 16, Ethan had already dabbled in a variety of interests. He built small contraptions in his garage, learned to code from online tutorials, and sketched designs for an app that he thought would revolutionize how people connected online. He believed success was within his reach, but he lacked one critical element: direction. One summer evening, sitting in his cluttered garage surrounded by unfinished projects, Ethan had a realization. He needed to get serious about his goals. The time for daydreaming had passed, and if he wanted to turn his passions into reality, he would have to get organized. He would need to set clear, specific goals. That night, Ethan grabbed a notebook and started outlining his vision for the future. The power of specific goals. Ethan realized that in order to achieve his dream, he needed to break it down into manageable steps. He envisioned creating a successful tech startup, but what did that actually mean? After several hours of brainstorming, he broke it down into several specific goals. 1. Learn advanced coding. He was proficient, but far from mastering it. 2. Develop a product idea, a tech solution that addressed a real-world problem. 3. Build a prototype, something tangible that could attract investors. 4. Pitch the idea to investors. He knew this would be his biggest hurdle. By the time Ethan closed his notebook, he felt a surge of excitement. He now had a clear direction, a series of milestones to hit along the way. The next day, Ethan set up a daily to-do list that reflected his larger objectives. He wasn't going to focus solely on the end goal, but on the small tasks that would lead him there. This simple shift in mindset marked the beginning of his journey toward mastery, prioritizing consistency over intensity. At first, Ethan was tempted to throw himself into his work with full force. He thought that if he could just work hard enough for a few weeks, he could make massive progress quickly. But he soon realized that intensity wasn't sustainable. Burnout set in after their first few weeks of long, exhausting days. That's when he discovered the power of consistency. Ethan committed to showing up every day for his goals, even if it was just for a few hours. He set aside time each morning and evening to work on his coding and product development. It became a routine, a habit that was ingrained into his life. Some days were productive, while others felt like a slog. But Ethan understood that every small step added up. To keep his momentum going, Ethan created a daily routine. He blocked out 2 hours each morning to work on coding and another 2 hours in the evening to brainstorm product ideas and sketch out designs. The key wasn't the intensity of his effort, but the consistency of showing up day after day. The discipline of showing up. Self-discipline was something Ethan struggled with initially. There were days when he didn't feel like getting out of bed early or tackling the difficult coding problems that had stumped him the day before. But he made a pact with himself to stick to his commitments, no matter how he felt on any given day. He also realized the importance of setting deadlines for himself. Without external pressure, it was easy to procrastinate. But Ethan knew that if he wanted to succeed, he would have to hold himself accountable. He started setting specific, time-bound goals for each project he worked on. For example, he gave himself a 2-month deadline to complete a prototype of his app. Procrastination still lingered at the edges of his mind, tempting him to put off hard tasks for easier ones. But Ethan had learned a trick: breaking difficult tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks. This approach made even the most daunting challenges seem doable. The power of a positive mindset. As the months went by, Ethan encountered his fair share of setbacks. There were days when nothing seemed to go right. His code wouldn't work, his ideas felt uninspired, and the future seemed bleak. During these tough times, it was easy to slip into a negative mindset, doubting his ability to succeed. To combat this, Ethan began practicing daily affirmations. Every morning, he would spend 5 minutes repeating positive statements to himself. I am capable of achieving my goals. I am constantly improving. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow. At first, it felt a bit silly, but over time, he noticed a shift in his mindset. He started to believe in himself more, even when things weren't going well. Ethan also started keeping a gratitude journal. At the end of each day, he would write down 3 things he was grateful for, no matter how small. This practice helped him stay grounded and maintain a positive outlook, even when progress was slow. He also surrounded himself with people who believed in him. His family was supportive, though they didn't always understand his ambitions. More importantly, he sought out friends and mentors who shared his passion for technology and innovation. These were people who encouraged him, offered feedback, and pushed him to keep going when he felt like giving up. A commitment to continuous learning. Ethan understood that if he wanted to stay ahead in the tech world, he needed to be a lifelong learner. He invested time in learning new skills, reading industry blogs, and staying up to date with the latest trends in technology. He attended workshops, watched online tutorials, and even enrolled in a few coding boot camps to deepen his understanding of complex algorithms and programming languages. He also sought feedback on his projects from more experienced coders and entrepreneurs. At first, it was hard to hear criticism, especially when he had poured so much effort into his work. But Ethan soon realized that feedback was a gift. It was an opportunity to grow and improve. Instead of getting defensive, he started viewing criticism as a tool for self-improvement. By constantly learning and evolving, Ethan was able to refine his skills and adapt to the ever-changing tech landscape. This commitment to continuous learning became one of his greatest assets. Health is the foundation of success. While Ethan was focused on his work, he also realized that neglecting his health would ultimately sabotage his efforts. Early on, he had fallen into the trap of pulling all-nighters, skipping meals, and neglecting exercise in favor of working on his projects. But this approach quickly led to burnout. Ethan decided to prioritize his health. He started going to bed at a reasonable hour, ensuring he got enough sleep to recharge his mind and body. He also made time for regular exercise, whether it was a morning run or a quick workout in his garage. He found that physical activity not only improved his energy levels but also helped clear his mind and reduce stress. Ethan also adopted healthier eating habits, opting for nutritious meals that fueled his productivity. He established a morning routine that included a healthy breakfast, a short meditation session, and some light stretching. This routine set the tone for a productive day and helped him maintain his energy levels throughout the day. Learning from failure. As Ethan continued to pursue his dreams, he faced numerous setbacks. There were times when his projects didn't go as planned, his code had major flaws, or investors showed little interest in his ideas. In the past, failure would have crushed his spirit, but now, Ethan saw it differently. He learned to embrace failure as a learning tool. Instead of getting discouraged, he analyzed what went wrong and figured out how to improve for next time. Every mistake was an opportunity to grow, and every setback was a stepping stone to success. For example, when his first app prototype failed to attract any interest, Ethan didn't give up. He took the feedback he received from potential investors and users and went back to the drawing board. He made adjustments, improved the user interface, and added new features that addressed the pain points he had overlooked. The next iteration of his app was far more successful, attracting the attention of a small group of early adopters. Time management mastery. One of the biggest challenges Ethan faced was managing his time effectively. With so many tasks to juggle, coding, product development, networking, and learning, it was easy to get overwhelmed. To stay on track, Ethan experimented with various time management techniques. He found the Pomodoro technique particularly effective. By breaking his work into focused intervals, followed by short breaks, he was able to maintain his concentration and avoid burnout. He also started time blocking, scheduling specific tasks for designated periods throughout the day. Ethan also embraced the 80-20 rule, focusing on the tasks that would have the greatest impact on his progress. He realized that not all tasks were created equal, and some were more important than others. By prioritizing high-impact tasks, Ethan was able to make significant strides toward his goals without getting bogged down in trivial details. Staying adaptable. Ethan's journey wasn't a straight path to success. There were times when his plans had to change, whether due to external circumstances or new opportunities that arose. But Ethan had learned to stay adaptable. When a global economic downturn made it harder to secure funding for his startup, Ethan didn't panic. Instead, he pivoted. If you are enjoying this video, please subscribe to the channel